Good afternoon, doctor.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for allowing me to introduce a new breakthrough product in recuperation of cats and dogs. I will put some stuff just to show you the full detailed story.
Okay.
Viyo Veterinary is a new product. It's a high palatable, liquid, low calorie recuperation fluid for cats and dogs after illness or surgery. The new story about recuperation is explained in this folder. As you can see, recuperation for an animal takes on average 14 days. Average because, as you know, it depends from case to case. Now, phase 2 starts from day 3 out of the 14. In this phase, it's important that you deliver calories to the animal, energy. Now, what do you do the first 24 to 48 hours in the critical startup phase? It has nothing to do with energy, but the first thing to do is that you stimulate the animal to drink and eat as fast as possible, because you need to feed the gut to allow your immune system to function well. The second thing what you need to do is not delivering energy, but the right amount of fluids. As you see, it's like water, and those essential nutrients playing a role in the recuperation of the animal. And there are 4: arginine, taurine, glutamine, and omega-6 and 3 fatty acids. I can explain recuperation not better than with this puppet. You know,
Yeah,
the simple promise of the product is getting the animal back on the feet again. That's what we like to do with Viyo Veterinary. Now, what is the most common situation where you like to recuperate the animal? That's post-op, post-surgery. Why? Because you like to see the animal eating, drinking as fast as possible. You should deliver those nutrients. And more important, the 14 days are also linked to the wound healing, because the fibroblast activity starts to play only a major role after 14 to 16 days. Before those 14 or 16 days, you should deliver the right amount of those nutrients playing a role also in the wound healing. And this is linked, of course, to the features of the product. The product has 4 features. It's, as I told, high palatable, proven by scientific research. We get an acceptance rate of 86 in cats and 90% in dogs, and that's very high.
Yeah, certainly for cats.
Certainly for cats, of course, because there is a problem that cats really refuse something very fast. Now, the second feature after palatable product is that it's a liquid. Now, something which is liquid absorbs faster and better in the intestines than any other powdered, dry food or tablet formulation. That's an advantage. Now, linked to the liquid formulation, the question of you will be, of course, how should I apply to the animal? And that's important also to obtain the percentages about the palatability. Now, there are 3 ways you apply to the animal. You can give it pure, you can give it as a topping over the food, or you can give it in the drinking water. Now, it's important that you explain that to the pet owner always in advance, because it can be that one of them will not work in cats or dogs. But if you give the advice to try it in another way, you avoid that people call you about refusing. The third feature is that it is a complete formulation. You never hear me talking about supplement, because in your mindset the supplement is some vitamins, some minerals, some fatty acids, but not all of them. We have every single nutrient in our product. That is important, because that means that you don't compromise on the quality or on every nutrient that is missing in the cat or the dog. Besides all those essential nutrients, we also added prebiotic fibers. 2 types, unilin and phos. Now the reaction can be, what is the advantage? Because I am spoiled of new prebiotic products. Now we have 2 advantages. The first one is liquid, faster absorbed in the intestines. The second thing is we work with 2 types. The advantage is every type of fiber stimulates one of the short-chain fatty acids more or less. If you combine different types of fibers, you increase the prebiotic activity of your product. Main products are only working with 1 type of fiber. We are already working with 2. And the last feature is it's a low-calorie product, meaning that it is not a diet, because a cat and dog is eating to get calories in. But the advantage is that you can combine it with whatever type of diet, even a therapeutic diet.
And disease.
And disease.
Like obesity.
No problem. Exactly, because it's a low calorie product, you avoid overweight cats and dogs. Now, I was talking about the 3 ways you can apply to the animal. Now, in your clinic, post-surgery, you better start the first time to deliver it with a syringe, injecting it directly into the mouth. I think you currently use a lot of tube feeding, but there is a risk involved. Now, because this product is a liquid, that is really easy to inject into the mouth without any problem afterwards. Post-surgery, that's the most common situation. Do you agree with that, doctor?
Certainly.
So you see an advantage in this product in your clinic?
But the most exciting about the product, if it exists, we shall try it, I promise, is that the animal should take it immediately for itself, and you don't have to really squeeze it in.
Yeah. And based on that, I was talking about post-surgery. You can also give it pre-surgery, because what I heard from your colleagues is that when you start to deliver a new product for the first time in your clinic, the cat or the dog can link it to pain, stress, different environments, and when they go home, they don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
So most of your colleagues also start to use the product pre-surgery, but that's only a tip for you. But we know that the palatability is very high of the product. As you can see here on the graph, we also did a survey to prove that pet owners really like the product. And the only thing what they can judge is, of course, is my animal drinking it. Exactly. My question about post-surgery is, when you send the pet back home and the pet parent is calling you on the phone, what is normally your first question after surgery?
The most important question is, does he eat, does he drink, what's the food intake, spontaneously or not? And that is drinking, and that is
very
eating.
important.
That's the most important. Then I'm sure everything's okay.
Did you use a product already to be sure that they continue to eat well at home?
Well, to be honest, I tried a lot of things. Mostly, it's combined. It's more a suggestion, like giving some cottage cheese or an egg or something like that. But you have to combine it to make it complete.
But still, you know that this is not working with a lot.
Not always.
Not in 86% of the cats, not in 9% of the dogs. You see an interest in your clinic to use it post-surgery?
Yeah, of course. If the intake is good, and it's a complete product, as I can see. So why not?
You know, in this folder we also explain how to give it, how to put it in the fridge after the bottle is opened, because it's a 100% natural product.
Yeah.
So you better be sure and keep it in the fridge.
And it holds for how many times?
7 days in the fridge, but never give it cold to a cat, for example, because they hate cold food.
Yeah.
The rest is explained on this folder: nutrients, which one, the dose. The product comes in a pack with 3 bottles of 150 ml, which lasts for an average dog and cat for 14 days. Remember, ideal recuperation of average is 14 days.
Yeah.
Now, how many surgery do you see on a weekly basis?
Weekly base, between 10 and 15 operation patients.
10 and 15 per week. Let's say that we shall try it on cats and dogs, and I deliver you 8 packs of dogs and 8 packs of cats.
Yeah, let's say make it 70 or 60-40%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try it out on 10 dogs and 6 cats.
Yeah, okay.
And as a promotional gift, I give you 50% on top. Do you agree with that?
Okay, I agree.
Okay. Then I write here that I should see you in 2 weeks' time, and you promise me that you sold all packs, the 16, 10 dogs, 6 cats. Okay?
Yeah.
Beside that, we have a lot of information. The most important one is, because I'm glad that you will try the product out for us, we also have a starter kit. In the starter kit, there is a poster, there's a technical fact sheet, There is a study which is important where we proved that we can increase also the volume of water an animal is drinking, and for example prevention of stones. But more important, I also have a technical bulletin explaining again the recuperation story, 2 phases, the nutrients, the palatability. This kit allows you to work without any knowledge from the first second on with the product. This comes with your order immediately. Open the box, you have some gadgets like coffee mugs, pens, but there's also a question and answer booklet which explains all the questions asked by our colleagues worldwide till yesterday. So please read it, because I'm sure that you'll find even more technical information beside the facts what I told you today.
Yeah, okay. There are some client folders also.
There are client folders in, and you can really write your own name, the diagnosis and the name of the animal, so you really put your own stamp on the client folder. In the client folder it explains how to give it to the animal, in which dose, everything what the consumer should know. Again, this kit allows you to work without any knowledge, so it don't demand any of your time in explaining the product to your clients.
What's the average intake for an animal?
For cats, 30 ml a day. For dogs, depending on the breed size, between 20 and 70. On average, let's say 40 to 50 ml a day.
That's okay.
You better give it in the morning, before they eat pure. That's the ideal way, because then they can utilize nutrients during the day. As you can see, we have a lot of materials available that allows you to work without any knowledge with our product. On top of that, there's a website, www.viyoveterinary.com, where you can even see more information and articles published. And of course this will grow, because it's a new product. We will add every month new information on the website.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you have more questions?
No, I should try it. It's very interesting.
I hope the product will be delivered. I go back to my car, I put the order in, and hopefully the product is here tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, doctor.
Nice.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.